For this recipe, you'll need 1 box of vanilla wafers, 2 cans of evaporated milk, 1.5 cups of sugar, 2 eggs, 2 tablespoons of flour, and 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract. So I like to go ahead and add in my 2 cans of evaporated milk first and foremost, okay, because this is your starter, period. This is your most important ingredient other than the vanilla wafers. So then I turn my temperature up. I turn it about medium, a little bit above as I get more into mixing, but you guys will see me do that as the video goes on. So I'll go ahead and crack my eggs. Yes, I'm using a can, so don't come for me. That was just easier for me to go ahead and dispose of everything right there in the can. But you want to just use the egg yolk. You do not want the egg whites. You just want the egg yolk. So what I like to do is just switch it back and forth in between the shells. I crack the shell in half and I switch it back and forth until I just have my yolk. Once I do that, and I get all of the egg white out, I go ahead and drop that in there. And then I do the same thing to the other egg, of course. Okay, so this egg gave me a hard time. Like, I cracked it, and it damn near broke in half. So if you have troubles with your eggs, it's okay. Just try to catch it as best you can, and use what you got, okay? If you have to start over, start over. There's nothing wrong with it. Like I said, your temperature right now should be kind of like just right at your medium, so it's not really getting hot like that. Well, at least I know my stove, everybody's stove is different, but my stove, it doesn't get hot that fast. So kind of takes its time. So therefore I can take mine. And I don't like mess, so as you can see me wiping my hands, I'm probably going to continue to do that because I do not like mess. And then I'm going to use this whisk right here. I do have a large size and a smaller size, but I'm going to use the larger size for this. And yes, I will be just mixing it up. And the whole point of this is just to make sure that none of it sticks to the bottom of the pot, because if it does, it will burn, and you don't want that. And plus, I want us to go ahead and mix in my eggs, get those all mixed in so that everything was kind of like cooking at a good pace. And look, I learned today that that's what those handles, what I'm going to be using them for. I don't know if that's what they're for, but I'm going to use them for that. Just to sit my utensils right there in them so that I don't have to worry about, having it sitting in the pot while I'm cooking. But yes, then next I add my sugar. I add half and half at a time. So like I said, I use 1.5 cups of sugar, but I pour half of that out of my measuring cup into the pot, and then I'm going to pour the other half after I get that all mixed in. And my pot is heating up, so the sugar is mixing in there really well. And you'll know what I mean based on when you're stirring it. It's not going to feel so thick. Like when you first pour it in, it's going to be thick. Like it's going to feel thick, the sugar. You're going to feel the sugar in there. But as you get it mixed in, it's going to, of course, become more of a milky texture. Like the whole thing is just going to mix together very well. So after I add my sugar, I'm going to go ahead and add my 2 tablespoons of flour. You can see me like wiping out the bag because I hate when you open the bag up. And let me know in the comment section if this happens to you. Every time you open up a bag of sugar or a bag of flour, some of it spill out on the counter. I don't know what that is about, but that has been happening to me since I have been cooking, which is basically since I've been alive. Well, since I could stand up and get in the kitchen and do a little something. So, yes, and I'm just showing you guys here the type of measuring utensils I'll be using. So that's my, that was the teaspoon, and that one is the tablespoon, the bigger size. So I'm going to use the 2 tablespoons, excuse me, for the all-purpose flour. And you'll see me dump them in one at a time. You don't want to you don't want to like go too fast with this recipe. Like, it's okay to kind of take your time. Like I said, the temperature is not too high to where I have to like rush and hurry up and dump everything in. If you do have one of those stoves that goes really fast, you will want to have it on low, not on medium either, because, well, the heat's up really fast. I said goes fast. Lord, bear with me. But yes, if your stove goes fast, like heats up fast, I said it again, you want to just put it on low. And so then I add my tablespoon, 1.5 tablespoons of vanilla extract. You can just use one, like if you don't have that much vanilla at the house. I've been there, boo. So if you don't have that much, trust me, it's okay. Just use 1 teaspoon and that's okay. And then I'm just showing you guys here. Well, I'm trying to see, I'm having camera damn problems. That's because my dog is in the kitchen, y'all. He loves being in there messing with me while I'm trying to do what I got to do. Plus, he likes to catch the food on the floor like some type of crazy person. But yes, I go ahead and I mix everything in. I'm just showing you guys here. That white stuff, of course, as you know, I put flour in there, so that's what that is. And that's, the flour is just basically to help thicken up the pudding, because this is the pudding. This is not vanilla. I mean, banana pudding is nothing but pudding, cookies, and bananas. So this is my way of getting my pudding part of the recipe. Some people use Jell-O, as far as I know, and a lot of people just do it a whole bunch of different ways. But this is my way. This is the best way to me. I really wouldn't have it any other way. So yes, and I'm telling you, once you have it, ooh, honey, your mouth is going to just water. It's just so good. Anytime I make this, all my friends, they all want some. They all ask me for a plate, or, just please save me some. My family members, it's the same thing. And like I said, I'm trying to get this camera together. And it just was not acting right because my dog was trying to chew on it at the same time that I was trying to record. So, yes. But yeah, I'm just going to keep mixing it, guys. And you do want to continue to mix this. I know it seems like, dang, do I have to keep on whisking this whole thing the whole time? But yes, you do. Because if you don't, boo, you'll know why you should have kept going. So yes, I keep doing that just to keep everything from burning the bottom, like I said. And I'm just going to get everything a little cleaned up because, like I said, I can't do the mess. It's just, it takes more off of you. So, like, in the end, you don't have to clean up so much. So, yes, and here I'm just back whisking again, honey. Whip it up, whip it up. Wrist game stupid, okay? I'm just I'm just playing. But you'll actually see, as you continue to whisk this whole thing up, you will feel it get thicker. And that's what you're aiming for, is for it to get more pudding-like. You don't want it to be watery or too loose. You want it to be a little thick. And like I said, that's what the flour and the sugar, your dry substances, that's what their job basically is in this recipe, is to get it all thick and mixed up very well and to give you that pudding that you're looking for, okay? And don't judge my little sifter, because I could not find another one nowhere, y'all. No matter how hard I tried, I just could not. So, I just wrote what I got. That's just what I do, okay? So, if you got a small one too, use it, boo. But you're going to need some help. As you'll see, me needing some help after I finish whisking all this together and I get the consistency that I'm looking for. Like I said, you want a pudding-like consistency, not too thick, of course. It will get more thick when you put it in the fridge and it, sits in there for a while. That'll thicken it up as well. But you definitely want it thicker than if it were any type of just regular liquid substance. you want it to be, I would say, just more like creamy than more than anything. And so yeah, here I'm just trying to show you guys that it is boiling at this point. You see the little bubbles, and that just lets you know that you're getting somewhere. Once it starts boiling, you're really almost like at the finish line. So you just want to keep whisking it as it boils. And, you know, if you want, you can maybe whisk it, stop for maybe like maybe like 15 seconds, whisk it some more. Because once you stop whisking it for a little bit, it honestly kind of helps it thicken up a little bit. That's what I've learned in my experience. Just to whisk it, stop a little while. Whisk it some more, stop a little while. And so that's why you see me putting the whisk down for a little bit, just so I can let it thicken up and boil a little bit some. And once it is done, or I feel that, okay, it's getting thick, because you'll see the edges of the pot kind of forming together, like just you'll see it all getting thicker. And once you see that happening, you want to start whisking again. So that's why you see me again picking it up, getting the edges, or the the corners or the edges of the pot, whichever one you like to call them, baby. Okay, it's up to you. But me, I'ma call it the edges for right now, or the corners. But yes, you want to get around the size of that pot. Look, I done called it 3 different things at this point. It's whatever. Get around the pot, honey, in the inside. Get up in there, get around the sides, the edges, the corners, all of that, and you good. And yes, right here, you just see me grabbing the spoon, showing you guys that it is not ready, okay? This is where you basically begin with your thickness. You see it's sticking to the spoon, so that lets you know that it is getting there. You're getting somewhere, but you're not done just yet. But we're almost to the finish line. You just want to keep whisking it, and that is going to get you to where you're going. And like I said, keep that heat. You want to, at this point, I have it at a medium high. So that means in between medium and high. For it, because everybody's stove is different. So that's what I mean, basically. And yes, you just want to keep whisking it because, like I said, you don't want it to burn. And if you do have a nonstick pot, that would be great. That kind of helps as well with the burning of the bottom. You don't want to use the oldest pot you got in your kitchen. And I only say this because you will. Okay, again, you will end up with a lot of burnt pieces in the bottom. So a non-stick pan, not trying to be bougie or nothing, but we all at least got one. You want to use that one, use that non-stick pot, and put mix all this up in there. And so, like I said, it's sticking to the spoon, so it's letting me know, okay, I'm getting somewhere. And you're just going to keep whisking it, keep using your spoon to test it out and to see if it's ready, to see if it's at that consistency you want. And like I said, you'll also feel with the whisk as you continue to go around in circles, you'll see it thickening up, you'll feel it, and it'll just be a different texture, of course, than from what you began with. And that is what you're going for, just a thicker consistency and, like I said, more creamy. You're not going to be all the way at the pudding because you have to put it in the fridge and let it sit for a while before you're actually going to get to that pudding consistency that you are aiming for, and that is your goal, okay? So, once I finish doing this, I'm just going to let it sit, let it boil a little bit longer. So I'm going to actually elevate from 15 seconds letting it boil to about 20. I know that's not the time much, but that's basically how I do it. You don't want to take too much time away from this because you will burn it, like I said. And here I'm just showing you guys the vanilla wafers and the bananas. I've already cut them all up, put all the vanilla wafers in there. So like I said, that little 20 seconds you taking away, honey, you can pop open that box of vanilla wafers, pour them in your dish, and then you can go ahead and cut up your bananas really quick. If you already want to have them cut up, that'll be good too. And so, yes, my consistency for my pudding is getting thicker. I am basically done here. But I do want to let it cook just a little bit longer. And it is starting to really, really come together. So now I have my boyfriend helping me pour. Like I said, you guys are going to need some assistance, okay? Because this little bitty thing, it'll get the job done. But baby, it's going to take some work, some teamwork, made the dream work, okay? Period. But yes, you're going to pour the pudding over your vanilla wafers and your bananas. And with any type of sifter, from my experience, even if you have a bigger one, you can pour all of that in there and it still will take like a good minute to kind of all go through. And that is because things like your eggs or your flour have kind of formed together in the bottom of your pan or just in your mix. So that is why you want to sift this, so that you can make sure those items don't get into your banana pudding, because no one wants to take a bite and then they taste some flour that's just like a little ball of flour that was just sitting somewhere in the corner, or a little piece of egg that's been cooked in the mix. So that is the point of this. And so, yeah, that's why you see me pressing it down with a spoon to kind of get it all to go down and go through, get the actual liquid part to go through the part I'm going to use. So, yes, I'm going to continue doing that, and my boyfriend is going to continue helping me, and we're going to pour it in as we go along, okay? We're not going to rush it. We're going to take our time, and we're eventually going to get it all in there. I know it's not going to look like much. Like right now, I'm sure I know it doesn't look like much, but as I continue to put more in it, it of course it's going to eventually fill to the top, and you want to get it all over all of those cookies, all over all of those bananas, so that it can basically soak it all up, all that goodness. And it's gonna taste so bomb, y'all. And so, yes, as I told you guys, it was going to fill the whole bowl, okay, period. And I just used my whisk to kind of push down the cookies, the vanilla wafers, as well as the bananas. And I used my spoon to mix it all in and get it looking all beautiful and pretty. And look at that. Ooh, it looks so good, y'all. And it tastes even better. So then you can put it in the fridge. You can go ahead and, enjoy it right now. But put it in the fridge if you want to. It's definitely, like I said, going to thicken up more. And it's going to taste so bomb whenever you're ready to eat it. Enjoy, guys. See you next time.